Hello everyone, it's time to speak about Dark Memory Quest and Dark Memory characters, X characters. Each character has his own chapter. When we finish it on hard mode, we unlock Dark Memory Quest for this character. So right now we have access to 8 dark characters, but in future we will have access to all 12. Let's look at all 12. Let's look at each of them and discuss. First would be classic healer Rion. He has massive amount of HP, his passive has no duration, so he's very suited for long fights. He can revive, which is quite unique using his X stuff. Well, it's absolute healing unit. Second would be the Gale. She is infamous X unit because she rated above all other in PvP. She has enormous amount of agility because her own weapon and her passive and her rank bonus all provide you agility, so she's really fast. While fast, she has massive amount of base attack, which helps her to kill with auto attacks at the start of the combat. Agility is useless for PvE, so Gale is somewhat in disadvantage there, but her own high attack multiplier on damage multiplier on character skill and high base attack allows her to deal considerable amount of damage, so she is just fine even in PvE. Another issue that she can have too much agility for PvP. In some cases you don't need 2000 of edge to be fastest. You will be content with like 1700 or something like that. And her own sword are not stats that she really wants. She wants attack, but it provides 200 edge. Well, and she must swap it or give it to someone else. It's okay if you use two different short sword users, like mostly everyone do. But in the worst case, it means that very invested weapons that you rise it with so much cubes will have no one to wield it. It's kinda regrettable, but Gale anyway is very decent unit and main focus for many players for PvP. Next would be Demos. He has high amount of HP, his passive has 60-second duration, but you can easily extend it because you just can use any Atoma or companion skill and extend duration for another 60 seconds and keep this passive for a whole fight up to till the end. He has AOE character skill, which is likely to be a disadvantage for him because we barely need this skill in PvE. His low base attack somewhat compensated with his passive buff, but buff itself limits amount of weapons you can build. You can't provide him with another buff weapons, they will have too much diminished effect on those buffs, and his buff already diminished enough. He has only 28% bonus attack in reality. Passive has quite a hard time to compete with second gen units, those have 25% attack with no duration, so he is somewhat flawed unit. Let's take a look at AKEHA. AKEHA has highest base attack in the game, very high, almost 6000. She also has access to quite a unique strategy where cooldown reduction set with 3x weapons. She can have quite a fast charge on her AOE skill on her weapon, and with this much firepower it's enough to just kill everyone with single hit from this AOE. Her character skill has AOE. It's quite regrettable because we don't have many opportunities to use it for good. She has the lowest speed in the game. Her rank bonuses provide her 0 agility, so she's very slow. And the worst part about AKEHA is that her 40% buff is multiplicative. So her buff passive at maximum limit break provides her 40% multiplied 20%, 5%. If you add her up to 70% crit, she will have 72% crit with rank bonuses, and in this case, her passive will provide maximum possible effect of 28%. It's also considerably easy to extend its duration for another minute, but it's hard to keep it for a whole fight. ARGO is turtle machine. Absolute defensive unit that has passive that works only when he has 100 HP. So it limits his performance. He has massive amount of defense, and also his skill provides him another 100 defense, which is arguably a lot, but with diminishing it's only 50%. Anyway, it's a lot of defense. And he has access to unique strategy where he apply permanent poison on all his enemies with his spear, and after that, in theory, you should be able to apply poison skills with duration, but they won't vanish when they should. And this way you can stack enormous amount of poison buffs and like cut 10% of HP per turn, which means enemy will just burn out in a flash. I haven't ever seen how it could be done. Probably I'm mistaken about something, but I see him to be able to use such strategy. The reason why I don't know if it's really possible, because nobody built him. Sorry, I don't know how to pronounce his name, let's call him Bald Guy. He has balanced attack and defense at HP, same for LARS, but he has low speed, and his abilities works only when he has lower than 15% HP. He probably definitely came from the future, because his ability works well when he has below 15% HP. Only situation I can imagine it's when he is under burn or poison debuff, so he has like 1 HP and still don't die. In this case, he can perform very good with massive amount of damage, so he's very suited for such fights, but we don't have such enemies. But we probably will have some in future, I don't know. F66. She's very interesting support unit with high amount of HP and defense. She also has healing on her staff and attack buff at same time. And also her character skill can stun enemy. It means we can, if we time it well, we can prevent enemy boss from using something very dangerous against us. She probably doesn't look like very good option for current game, where we have no interesting enemies and we need just a lot of attack and kill it in one sequence. But she definitely looks like solid support unit. I believe she should have some opportunities to shine in future. LARS is second short sword user. She has 100 AG as rank bonus. He also has very good stats, very balanced and attack leading. His passive, contrary to AKEHA, looks like it's actually useful, because with critical chance you can't go past 100. It's just useless. Crits won't crit 2 times or 3 times or something like that, but with crit damage you can. So after you multiply this very high critical damage multiplier, you will have some great effects for your damage. I believe LARS is very good option for PvE. Also solid option if you like PvP, because he has access to friendly sword and many other agility short swords. He will be considerably fast with his rank bonus included, so he's very good option with high amount of damage and with very astonishing PvE capabilities. Of performing 1.5 million hits in sequence with his ultimate, so he's very good option. GLYPH is defense leading gunner. He has passive abilities that provides him 50% damage with no duration, but it has strict restriction about being applied only to combo 5, which greatly limits the amount of weapons he can possess. So also his character skill requires from you to have very high amount of combo counter, Let's look at NOEL. NOEL has quite a unique ability, it's a little difficult to explain. When you receive damage and your HP goes below 80%, for next turn you will be immortal because you can't just die. You will be healed for 40% of HP at the end of the round. So even if in this round you receive some amount of damage, it will just you can be killed. While this ability is really strong for PvP, without surprise effect, enemy can just switch to other target for the turn when NOEL is immortal, so render its uses. She will heal back, but lose her immortality and just die next time she attacked. She is quite flawed unit because this ability is useless for PvE like at all. And for PvP, if enemy knows that you have it, it limits your opportunity to use it. Many weapons possess similar ability and they can be put on unexpected targets for your enemy, which have much bigger strategic value, I believe. She has no offensive abilities, quite low attack, and moreover she has like no weapons to wield. We have very scarce amount of good spears, and you will have hard time equipping her with something decent, with something without massive amount of death and water. It's really hard. So she is difficult to use unit. The LEVANIA is absolute unit with massive amount of attack, with massive amount of HP, and even defense very high. His stats enormous. He has really big stats for no reason. He just has bigger stats than he should. And his passive also easily to extend, and same as for Demas, his passive provides only 28%, which kinda a low amount, but he has massive amount of base attack, so he just fine even with this low amount. He is better be equipped with short cooldown weapons, and we have such fists. For great swords, for example, we don't have such great swords, so AKEHA can't make use of short cooldown abilities, while LEVANIA has no such issues. He can just use short cooldown abilities, and moreover he has 100 edge and he has almost no flaws aside from his diminished passive. You can't use buff weapons on him, but you can use different weapons and something else. He's very strong, decent unit. And the last one is Fio. She has high amount of defense and also 40% agility, which kinda sounds like bad idea. Having edgy passive, she is not very suited for PvE because she has very low damage. She is very durable and can survive for a long time, so if you need just that, she's fine. But her main focus seems to be PvP, and in PvP it's quite difficult to explain what she can do. It actually has some niche use in PvP just to stall time. You don't want your enemy to attack you, so you just attack him instead. This way, if you use her just instead your third slow unit to prevent enemy from attacking you, she's just fine. It's the first video about EX units. We will look into how to farm them and how to build them later. Thank you for watching. Good luck!